Slowly getting this bloody cat hair off me. I noticed in a couple of my videos I look like a bloody a Wookie. Chewbacca. Right. Chase Hughes. Why do I like Chase Hughes? Because he's legit. His knowledge is. His information's flawless. Learn something about language.
There is a kind of parasite in your mind right now. It's stopping you from seeing reality. And I want to tell you that I'm not using that word poetically. I mean the biological definition of a parasite. And a parasite has 4 basic traits. It needs a host. It consumes the resources of the host. It alters the host's behavior to promote its own survival. And 4, it replicates through the host into a new host. Language meets every criteria of a parasite, and I'm going to prove it to you. I want to literally show you this thing inside of your head right now. I'm going to put something very simple on your screen, but I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to notice what your mind does the moment that it appears on the screen. Are you ready? Here it is. I guarantee you something happened inside your head before you realized it. We're going to go to experiment number 2 now. I just want you to watch what your mind does. Here it is. And instantly, without your permission, your mind starts whispering in your head. Mona Lisa, Da Vinci, famous painting, triangle, before your eyes were done looking. You didn't experience the thing first. Your brain named it first. Most people don't realize it, but this happens to our entire lives. We label emotions before we feel them. We label people before we get to know them. We label ourselves before maybe we get a chance to decide if something is true or not. Language is jumping in front of every experience and it's hijacking it. Let me show you just how deep this really goes. Your language doesn't just name things. Your language creates the categories of things that you see. As an example, different cultures divide the world in completely different ways. And because of that, they literally perceive different realities. If your language has no word for a certain color, your brain becomes way slower or even completely unable to see that color. The category shapes the perception. So your language isn't really describing your world, it's deciding what your world contains. We do not think with logic. We think...
Notwithstanding, Your Honour, this is an incorrect vehicle in which to carry this piece of legislature to enforce said document. Average person's still sitting there trying, what did you just say? Everyone else in the courtroom knows instantly, it's their language. As long as they can use long convoluted language and stretch out all manner of hyperbole and politically spoken word salad in such a manner that the people hear it in a way that you're speaking for them as if it's in their favour when it's actually not. It's more like Roundup for weeds than it is for water for plants.
With metaphors that we did not choose ourselves. Just think of like the metaphors that we live by. There's thousands that are programmed into our psyche. Time is money. Love is a journey. The mind is a container. None of these things are facts. They're metaphors that became little prisons for us. Every belief that you've ever held, every certainty, every fear, every...
And then you are rushed into making a decision on whether you want to plead guilty or not guilty, on whether you accept the charges or not. Do you accept that these are the charges represented before you? Do I accept that these are the charges represented me or presented before me? Do I accept? Do I agree that these are the charges put before me? Trick of language. Yes? I agree that the charges on that piece of paper are what you have presented me with, but I do not agree that they are the charges before me. I'm not agreeing that those charges are real. So no, I'm not entering in the contract.
The limitation that you think is just who you are was shaped inside of a language that you didn't choose. You didn't pick the categories, the metaphors to understand yourself. You didn't pick the metaphors you used to know who you are as a person. You inherited these things. If you grew up and you heard words like lazy or not enough or problematic or dramatic, quiet, difficult, shy, gifted maybe, smart, maybe broken, they didn't describe you, they became you. And the moment that someone labeled you, your mind built a world around that label, and the world became a huge cage. So language doesn't reflect your identity, it constructs the identity. In my opinion, the scariest part of that is, once the construction of the identity is complete, we defend it like crazy. We protect the thing that is limiting us. We say things like, that's just my personality, or I've always been like this. Like our identity is some kind of geological fact instead of a language program. But answer this question honestly, and this is another experiment. If you had been raised in another family, another culture, another language with different labels and different metaphors and different narratives, would you be the same person? Of course not. So that means that our identity is not the pure, authentic me that I think I am. It's a side effect of language that raised us. You've only met the version of you that language allowed you to be. And we spend our lives trying to live up to a sound, a word. And language takes every experience that you have and cuts it down to fit inside of a category that existed way before we were ever born. You never met your mother as she truly is. You met the word mother. You met mom. You started defining it as mom as fast as you can. In fact, that's the oldest known word ever discovered as a fun fact. How many arguments have you had with people that were never about the situation? They were about the words that you and someone else used to describe the situation? How many moments of connection were maybe ruined because people used the same word that had different meaning? And if you think about your emotions, a lot of people don't feel sad. They feel the word sadness and everything that the culture taught us to attach to the word sadness. And if you think that you're bored with your life, or maybe you're bored in life right now, I promise that you're not. You're just seeing the world through some linguistic categories that are on repeat. Chair, bottle, hand, normal. All of a sudden, your life becomes a slideshow of things that we already think we totally understand because we have a label for it. It turns the sacred things into ordinary things. I want you to feel something and try it out. Wherever you are, look at the nearest object in the room. Wherever you're sitting, wherever you're standing, don't pick a special one, just whatever's closest. Maybe it's a water bottle or a chair, or maybe it's your hand, anything at all. So, all right, you got it? Good. So now, just for 2 seconds, refuse. I want you to absolutely refuse to name that thing. Don't say the word in your head. Don't categorize it. Don't reach for the concept of what it is. Just look at it without any language. Right there. Notice how fast your mind tries to name it automatically. It's desperate. It can't stand not knowing what to call something. So it's like the mind panics when language goes silent. And I think it does this because without language, you become present. There's a sudden sharpness, increase of reality and clarity. There's a moment of raw, just presence that almost feels like a memory from childhood. That's how I would describe it anyway. That's what the world feels like without the parasite jumping in line. The parasite can still be there, but you're just putting it in its actual place where it's meant to be, behind the experience. I want you to think of the most real moment in your entire life. The moment that punched through everything, like the birth of a child, maybe a breakup, maybe a death, maybe it was a moment of terror, or maybe it was the kind of just incredible awe that just shuts down your breathing. In that moment, there weren't any words. None. Language arrived after that experience, and then it tried to shrink that thing into a sentence because language couldn't hold the size of what happened. That is your proof. Every moment that you felt truly alive in your life was so much bigger than the language that you used to describe it. And if language was just a tool, then we could put it down. But we can't.
When your child is in pain, you feel it as if it's your own. You bring back their smile. We'll do the up to 8-hour relief for fever and 8 pains. That's also gentle on little stomachs. Nurofen. Leave the fever and 8 pains to us.
The Amart Lounge sale is
Ginger.
on now. Save 20 to 50% off all lounges, sofas and recliners. With over 2,000 colours, styles and designs to choose from, there's something for every space. Don't miss out on the Amart Lounge sale.
Try not naming something for 10 seconds. The brain goes into a panic. It begs for a label. It demands some kind of a category. And that's a system with survival instincts. And anything that comes before your perception is in control of your perception. Maybe you're probably realizing that this isn't just a theory, that this is something that you can actually feel. But there is a catch here. Waking up to this is just the beginning. We still have to break the spell. And for the last 2 years, I've been building that book designed to do exactly that. And the book is called Tongue. It's definitely not a normal book at all. It's not written the way that a book is supposed to be written. It breaks every single rule, and it doesn't teach you about language. It bypasses language for you. And it's maybe the most bizarre thing that you're ever going to see printed on paper. Every line, every page was engineered to pull your experience back in front of the words where it's supposed to be. So Tongue is just a small little paperback, and it works by destabilizing the automatic naming reflex. It really does disrupt the parasite, and it forces your perception to show up first and your language to show up second. Some pages read you out loud in a way that you've never seen done in a book before. And some pages of the book glitch out your inner voice completely, and some pages collapse meaning on purpose so you can feel raw reality start bleeding through the cracks a little bit. It's a weird experience. It's very strange. It's not completely comfortable, but the book's written in a way that skimming through it will do absolutely nothing. It took 2 years because I had to design every paragraph to interfere with your language operating system. And this is a language system we've been living inside since childhood. But if you read Tongue, it's on Amazon, and it is just a cheap paperback. But if you read it line by line, the book does something subtle and dangerous. It gives you perception back, and it brings the world in front of the word. Starting today, Tongue is available on Amazon. Read it if you're ready, but it's not to understand anything. The book's not going to give you a whole bunch of understanding. It's going to give you an experience to see the world without the parasite jumping in front of it. So if this video cracked something open in you, I designed the book Tongue to really finish the job. Either way, I hope this video was interesting for you. It gives you a new perspective on language, and you can click the link down in the description. Check the book out on Amazon if it's interesting for you. Either way, I have a statistic that says like 49, I can't remember the number, 50-something% are not subscribed to the channel. Number one, I know you hear it from every single human being on YouTube that like and subscribe and all that stuff. That shit helps so much more than people say. They pretend like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. So this video was important to you. If this video was helpful for you in understanding or looking at language in a different way, then please consider leaving a thumbs up down below. It's totally free, and so is subscribing. Thanks so much. We'll see you then.
And because of Chase Hughes, not just because of Chase Hughes, but it's a wealth of knowledge. Yes, he's ex-CIA, and unlike, what's his name, Andrew Bustamante, who I'm not convinced, he might be. But I see Bustamante as more of a grifter than this guy. He doesn't ask for money or whatever, and other people ask for it indirectly by not asking for it, but by thanking you for it in advance. So, yeah, I don't believe that was Jim Carrey either. Speaking French. What did you I'll let that one on Eddie Murphy. Yeah, it's like what did you poo. So, well, you can like and subscribe if you like, I don't really care. I'm not in it for the likes. I don't need to reach everyone, just the right ones. But I'll give that a like. Because that's information that needs to get out there. We need to start thinking properly. We need to start thinking with our mind and discernment rather than our programmed brain. If you're thinking with your brain without your mind and your discerning conscience attached to that thought, then everything's just a mere calculation of numbers, an algorithm within your own non-critical thought. Those who stand for nothing will fall for anything.